going on, man? Welcome back to another video. You are watching Free Smoke, and right next to me we got Garage Driven, and right there we have Illest of Ills. And as you guys know, man, I am yours truly, FaTKaT, and we're bringing you another video, man. As you guys can see, I am in the whip right now on the road, but we getting it done no matter what, man. Making these videos, content for y'all, man. So before we
by
get
any
into
means,
man,
by any
by
means,
any means necessary. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
But
sir.
before we get into this, before we get into these videos, man, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. And you know, you guys know how YouTube works, man. There's no secret. We need to hit them algorithms. Would you all agree? We need to
Yes,
hit
sir.
those algorithms, man. So make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share with your friends and your family, your mammy, your pappies, and everybody else, man. And you know what I'm saying? So we can hit them algorithms and shoot this channel up and get it as big as we can, man. But we are just starting. So like I said, man, we need as much love as we can get. Also, in the description below, there are all of our individual social medias. Make sure you guys check out each individual social medias respectively, and either subscribe or follow, whatever it calls for, so you can check out our individual builds with our different cars and things we got going on. You know what I'm saying? With our projects and so on and so forth. You're not gonna find it on this channel, but you will find it on our individual platforms, man. So make sure you guys go check those out. And if you have watched our previous videos, you know that we're missing one member, but that's okay. He has things to do today, but the show must go on. We're gonna miss him, but it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so moving right along, man. Let's go ahead and get into the topics of today. Hey, oh, as my earbud pops out, boy. So let's go ahead and get into the topics of today, man. Hey, first thing we're going to talk about is the thing that everybody's doing nowadays, man. These wide bodies. Now, of course, we know that Dodge obviously offers factory wide bodies. You know what I'm saying? We can buy wide bodies now off the lot. But one of the more popular things for people that don't have 2020s, right? So anybody who has 2019s and below, you know, one of the popular things is to you know, basically do an aftermarket. There's various kits out there, or you could do basically a factory kit as well. So my question to you guys, because we all currently have narrow bodies, right? Because I got a 2019. Paul has a 2018.
Yep.
And what year is yours?
2016.
2016. And he has a Challenger, by the way. So we got Chargers. He has a Challenger, and then you just heard the years. So we all got the narrow bodies, right? The question to you guys is, do you think, actually, I'm going to have two questions for you guys. One, do you think that it's worth it to do the wide body aftermarket? And second, if you were to do it, how concerned would you be about the value that your car will hold after you would do the you know what I'm saying, the aftermarket wide body? Because obviously, if you don't know, it does involve cutting some of your car, your fenders and things like that. So those two questions I posed for you guys, and I'm gonna go with Illest of Ills first. What are your thoughts on that?
So as far as worth it, I think that's obviously his shooter's choice. But as someone who's looked into it, like I almost did it, what was that, 4 months ago? To me, there's only a handful of kits that I think really look good. There's a lot of people trying to make wide body kits, fender flares, things like that. There's a lot of them out there that just look ridiculous. They're just not formed right for, maybe it's just our cars. Obviously, I'm looking at my own car. Right. But about 4 months ago, I looked into, as far as worth it or not, this is why I don't have it. My only one that I was going to do was Liberty Walk. So I spent probably a good solid month researching Liberty Walk. I talked to a bunch of people that had it, that I personally follow. It wasn't so much that as far as the price of the kit, what I found with all this shit going on in the world with COVID and all that. So I talked to Liberty Walk. It was going to be, I mean, at first they make each kit like on order. So it takes, you know, 5 months, 6 months, whatever it is for them to make it, which for someone who's impatient as impatient gets, that's eternity to me. I might as well wait 10 years. Uh, so that factored in. The kit isn't cheap. It's like $5,000 for a Challenger. I know it probably varies for different cars, but it's like $5,000 for a Challenger. And then it was $1,500 just to ship it from Japan.
Woo!
So, and that's if they could get it through. With all this just stuff going on in the world coming from other countries.
Right.
So it wasn't so much the price of the kit, but the time it took to get it forever. I had the wheels I was trying to get done too. Impatient me factoring in. Plus, I didn't want to pay $1,500 just to ship it. That shipping cost to me is always a waste of money. I mean, I know it's a necessary evil, but $1,500 worth of shipping is like, nah. Never mind. So for me, there's a lot of people that have done Challengers with that are narrow body that did the OEM style, whether it's like through what is it, Vicrez or Vicrez, however you say it, or like Paul, like you got the actual OEM kit.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I just wanted to do something that was you don't see a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of Liberty Walk Challengers in the world, but around me, I haven't seen one in person. There are none around here. Now I know there's like probably a few in South Florida, and I actually talked to a couple of those guys. But that's why I wanted Liberty Walk. Number one, because you can say you have a Liberty Walk Challenger. Number two, you just don't see them a lot. But as far as worth it goes, if you are willing to pay $1,500 to ship it, wait 5 and 6 months at least to get it, yeah, it's going to be dope. But I wasn't, so that's why I just went on with my other plans. As far as the value on the car, what it does for the value of the car, it does absolutely nothing. Even, I mean, and this is nothing against you, Paul, but even what you're doing with yours with OEM, your VIN number doesn't recognize the wide body. So exactly. I don't think it really decreases the value. I mean, unless you, which I know you're not going to, unless you were to do it and chop it all up and it looks ridiculous. But I know that's not what you're going to do. It's going to look like factory. I know what you can do, so I'm not going to say it at all. But if you do it and it looks just like factory, I don't think it's going to add anything because a simple VIN search isn't going to show wide body this. Now, if you bought a wide body, of course, that carries over with your VIN number as far as Blue Book goes, value goes. I don't think it really adds any value. I don't think, depending on the kit, which is important, and how it looks, I don't think it really decreases the value either because no one's going to see where you cut your fenders.
No.
And most people that aren't privy to how that works will even know that. So I don't think it adds to the value. Certainly the the $5 or $6 grand I was going to spend on the kit, I don't get to just add $5,000 to the value of my car if I ever sold it. It's just how all mods work. We pay a bunch of money to do all this shit and it has zero value. That money's just gone and we just get to enjoy it. So I don't think it adds value. I don't think it lowers value unless you just completely butcher the vehicle. Because I've seen some wide bodies out there, even the people that have done like the molded, they bought like metal flares and molded it in. There's some silly ones out there that it's just like, what were you thinking? And so that I wouldn't buy that car simply because it was just a bad kit or bad install or whatever. But that's what I was looking at was the Liberty Walk kit. I've looked at Clinched as well. I just didn't really like their design, but I don't think it really adds value. I don't think it lowers value unless you really mess it up. But I think it's all personal preference. If you're willing to pay the price for it, you paid the price for the car. If you're willing to chop it up and that's what you want, we'll do anything to get what we want. So that was my choice. Was Liberty Walk. It just wasn't working out as far as just the logistics of it.
Those are some valid points, man. Let me tell you guys, that Liberty Walk kit, that ain't for the faint of heart. Like you just said, basically $6,500 before you even see the kit.
Before you even install it, if you're not doing it, paying for it.
Before he even sees the kit, he got $6,500 already invested into it.
Exactly.
That Liberty Walk ain't no joke. By the way, I looked at Liberty Walk through my fantasy world whenever I get, not fantasy world because I know I'm gonna get there, but for my when I get to my supercar era, you know what I'm saying? Like I start looking at just looking at Liberty Walk just to see what it costs for like the Audi A8 and for this and that. That's like 10, 11 grand for those cars.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous, man. But hey, Garage Driven, man, what do you say? And I know you got. I want to hear from you specifically because if you guys don't know, he's actually. I'm gonna let you talk. I'm not gonna steal your thunder, but he's actually right in the middle of this right now.
Right
So
now.
Garage Driven, what do you say?
All right, so I would say like it all depends on the kit that you want. Like, you know, you might have a favorite kit that you might like or whatever the case is. Like I've looked into that Vicrez kit or whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And like the way to design the kit is for you not to cut your fenders. Now, if you don't cut your fenders, you're going out wider with the tires. So now you got an issue now where your actual fender is still there. So now you brought the tire out past where the fender line is. So any bump you hit, I'm thinking it's gonna touch. There's no way. It doesn't work like that. So I'm thinking you're gonna have to cut that car no matter what. I don't understand like if they expect you to keep your stock narrow wheels with a wide body flares. I mean, I'm guessing I'm seeing guys doing it, but there's no way you can lower the car with that kit without cutting. There's no way you definitely can't bag the car. There's no way you're bagging. You know what I mean? So my preference.
It leaves a gap between that wide body, that flare, and the front lip. I just watched the guy that I follow on Instagram do it, and there's a gap between the lip and the flare.
The way they designed it, they made the flare itself like I guess thicker to meet up with your actual wheel well liner, the liner of the wheel well. So it does. You don't see that gap between the actual fender and the flare. So it's like really thick. You know what I mean? So the flare itself is thick just to hide that gap that you're gonna see in between of not cutting your fender, so everything looks clean like normal. But that's not gonna work. The first bump you hit is gonna rub. You know what I mean? I'm waiting to see someone that does it and see if it works out. But I don't see it working without you cutting your fenders. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now, my preference was the factory kit. I think it's one of the better looking kits. Dodge did a really good job on it. And I decided I wanted to go, factory wide body because my car, it doesn't come that color in 2020. So it's like me having that car with that kit on it now. You're going to automatically know when you see it. I did have a point where I kind of questioned doing it because they came out with Smoke Show. And I was like, when I saw the color, I'm like, oh, that's close to Destroyer Gray. I'm like, it's not going to be worth it. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I figured someone will see Smoke Show, they might be like, oh, that's Destroyer Gray or that's Smoke Show. They might question it. Yeah, but I went to the dealership with my car. I was actually there with my car getting my radio changed out. And there goes a Smoke Show Challenger parked right behind my car afterwards when I came back outside. And the colors are night and day. They're nowhere to be similar at all. So
Smoke Show is way lighter, right?
Way lighter. It's literally like smoke. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Free
it's
smoke, by the way.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so the Smoke Show is way lighter. You know what I mean? So it's like at that point, that's when I felt better about what I was doing again. I'm like, all right, I'm back on board. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't look alike, but as far as like adding value to the car, for sure, you're not getting no value. Definitely not losing value. I think it's gonna lose value, and I get it. I understand, but it might gain street value, but not dealership value. You know what I mean? So if I'm trading in the car now, they might, pull the VIN or whatever like normal. I'll be honest with you, 90% of dealers is probably not ever going to notice. They're going to look at the car as going like a clean car, well kept. They're going to say, oh yeah, taking it as a trade, no problem. They're not even going to question it. They're not even going to say, oh, wait a minute, this is 2018. Why is it wide body? These guys, a lot of them, it's crazy to see that a lot of guys at the dealerships, they don't study the product that they're selling. They're just selling an item. It's no different than them selling.
It's just a job. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the guys at the dealership should do a better job at that. I'll say that personally, like, because I've dealt with sales guys that I'm like, how do I know way more about this car? And this is before This is before I purchased my car. How do I know way more about this car? And you work here. You sell this product every day. You know what I'm saying? So,
they work at Dodge and drive Toyota.
That's exactly why. So yes, as far as dealership value, it's definitely not gonna. I think it might lose because if they recognize it is a wide body, that's where you'll have an issue. You know what I mean? Obviously, you're not gaining anything at all. So whatever you trade, whatever you're gonna trade in a narrow body Charger for, is more than likely what I'm gonna get for my wide body Charger. Exact same price, no different, because more than likely they're not gonna notice it. You know what I'm saying? And even if they notice it, the work is so clean, they're not gonna say anything about it. They're gonna want to probably put it on top of the ramp, modified or something for sale. You know what I mean? With a higher price, just to try and market it like that. You know what I mean? Sell it back. But now as far as street value, I might have a bargaining chip then to say, hey, yo, it's a wide body Charger, one of one, Detroit Great Daytona. You know, and at a point, I do plan on going back with the Daytona stickers on the back and stuff like that. Not right now, but in the future, I do plan on going back and making it look like a actual Daytona, just wide body.
You want to be a Scat Pack right now? I got you.
Yeah, right now I want to be like my Scat Pack boy. You know what I mean? Yeah, you over there? Yeah, this guy. I want to be like my Scat Pack boy. You know what I mean? So yeah, but so at the street value, I might be able to gain something on that and on that end of it, but we'll see what happens. I don't plan on selling the car. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. I think they might have to bury me with that car. You know what I mean?
Right.
Wow.
And you know what? And that's like. And you know what though? And that's exactly so my thoughts on that are pretty much exactly what both of you guys just said, kind of intertwined. Whereas like it really just like, I mean, the first thing you said, Illest, was like it literally just depends on the person. You know what I'm saying? And especially if you are a person like garage driven where you don't plan on selling the car at all, it's totally worth it. You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as kits go, if I were to do it, because I think everybody who has a narrow body, it has crossed their mind at one point or another, right? And as far as kits go, if I were to actually do it, I would definitely be doing what Garage Driven is doing. I'll be going to the dealership, getting whatever, and ordering my OEM parts, like it's coming from out the factory, showroom floor, just like that. Like I wouldn't get these aftermarket kits. I would definitely be doing an OEM kit if I were to do it.
Now hold on. Let me interrupt you for 1 second, if you don't mind. Reason why one major reason I didn't go aftermarket. Like I said, I do plan on keeping the car. Let's say 5-7 years down the road, I'm driving the car to a show, and I decide to take it out because hopefully I have multiple. You know what I'm saying? Another show car by then that I built. But anyway, I plan on taking out this Charger to a show. I'm on my way. Boom! Somebody hits me on the side, knocking my flare off. I got an aftermarket wide body kit at this point. Now I call up whoever I got the kit from. Hey, I need a flare for a passenger side, Charger or whatever. They're like, we don't make that no more. I can't get that to you. We made those kits years ago, man. We discontinued that.
Add that on my list.
Yeah, now Dodge, if that happens to me, I go down to the dealer. Hey, even if they don't have it on hand, they're gonna say, hey man, it's gonna be a 3-week wait. All right, no problem. Yeah, they'll order it. No problem. I'll wait. You know what I mean? So that's why. But go ahead, FaTKaT. My bad. I ain't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good, and you're 100% right. You know what I'm saying? So if I were to do it like that, or if I were to think about doing it, I would definitely be doing it your way. Now, with that being said, as far as adding value to the car or not adding value, I think both of you guys hit on the head where it's not going to necessarily add value, unless it's, again, if you're selling it aftermarket not aftermarket, but you're selling it on the street. But even then, there's going to be so many wide bodies out there. So it's like, okay, it's just another wide body. You know what I'm saying? So how much does it really add as far as on the street wise? Because the wide body part, maybe not much. Now, the only thing that would kind of concern me is, and I know you said that most, like, to the eye, most dealerships are not going to know. But once they pull that VIN number, they're going to know, oh, wait, this is not how is this a wide body? It's not a wide body. You know what I'm saying? And the first thing they're gonna say is, hold on, why is this a wide body but not on the VIN number? So they're gonna come out and question you, and because, like you said, most of the people don't even know what they're selling, and they're gonna be like, they're not even gonna put the two and two together. This is a 2018 Destroyer Gray wide body. They're gonna be like, wait, that don't even make sense at all. When they actually like bring it down and they're like, okay, and they make sense of it, make sense of it. Depending on the dealership, they might be like, well, we can't give you, 25 grand for the car, whatever it is, because your fenders are cut. Even though it looks clean, but they're definitely going to try to use that excuse.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to try to use that excuse. Even though the work is clean, they can't even tell this and that and the third. Oh, well, you cut your car, so, we're going to, instead of 25 grand, we're going to give you 15 or 16 or whatever it is. Like, they're definitely going to try to lowball you.
Yep.
And to be honest, even though that's a cop out, but at the end of the day, I mean, let's be honest. When somebody goes to the dealership, let's say they don't send it to the auction, right? And they try to sell on the lot, bro. Us car guys, when we go to the lot, we're gonna be like, wait, the VIN number, because you could pull the VIN as well. Hold on, this is supposed to be for like a regular body, narrow body. Oh yeah, somebody put it aftermarket. So automatically you're gonna be like, oh, so this was cut. So what are we going? If we go to the dealership and we know that, what's the first thing we're gonna do? Oh, yeah, you
bring
got
that price down.
Yeah, you got to bring that price down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just what we're gonna do. And we're gonna know, but like, oh, first of all, we're gonna be like, yo, that's kind of dope. The work is clean, because we're gonna check it out, right? The work is clean, everything's legit. But you're still gonna tell the dealership, bro, you got to bring this price down.
Yep.
You got to bring the price down, just because it's modified to the point where like it's cut and everything else. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing that would concern me. But I think that literally just depends on the dealership. So I don't think it's like a blanket statement where it's like it's going to bring the value down. I think it literally just depends on the dealership and how well versed they are in things, and how much of a not bargaining chip, but how much they want to hold that against you. You know what I'm saying? Some might be like, oh man, that's dope. That's great work, so on and so forth. But you go to a dealership down the street and they might try to use that against you. So that's kind of like it's almost like a catch-22.
I'll say this to your point, Paul, about if something happens and like you get in a wreck or someone hits you or something along those lines on those flares. That's one of the things I thought about with that Liberty Walk kit, because it's all fiberglass.
Yeah.
So it took me 6 months to get the kit. It's going to take me 6 months to get a replacement. A replacement. Yeah. Or I have to go to a body shop that does fiberglass, and that work ain't cheap. So you'll end up paying to fix a flare, if it's even fixable, another $1,000, $1,500. No insurance is going to cover that, of course.
No.
So you're at $1,000, $1,500 or more, or not at all if they can't fix it. So that's one thing I thought of as well with that Liberty Walk kit. So where you were going with that is absolutely right. So those that are out there that are looking for a wide body kit, those are all things that a lot of people just don't think about, is what happens if you ding it up or you crack it or it's completely destroyed, and now what? You're just going to roll around with 3 flares instead of 4? No, you're not going to do that, because you're going to look like an idiot. So that's another thing too. That factored into my decision too.
And listen, once you cut the car, not the fenders, not the front fenders, once you cut those rear quarter panels, that car's wide body for life. You have to keep a wide body kit on there. Yeah.
Any
you know what I mean? Well, no, you can replace the front fenders, put 2 new fenders in your car.
Well, yeah. That's
what?
Yeah.
That rear? Done. Once it's cut, it's done. The car's done. Yeah, no going back. So it's a decision you got to make. If anyone out there that want to do this, it's a decision you got to think about. Like, do I want to cut my actual, car? Because that quarter panel, that's it. Once you cut that's the part that makes the factor that once you made a decision, ain't no going back. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of said the same thing, but in different ways. So it's literally just a decision on the individual and what you plan on doing with your car, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? After you do this or that particular modification, because most modifications, wheels, even aftermarket lights, stereo, most of that stuff comes out easy. Like, this is like you're literally like going into like plastic surgery, and it's like you can't go back and tell the doctor, hey man, make my nose back the way it was. It's like once it's like that, once you cut your nose, and you might have to live with it. Comment down below, first of all, and let us know what you guys think about that particular subject, that topic. And what would you guys do, man, if you guys had the option to do wide body, aftermarket wide body? You know what I'm saying? What would you, everything we just asked basically, and if you do go wide body, which particular kit would you go with?